So the chair and deputy chair of this committee are unable to attend. So I'm asking for nominations for who can chair the meeting.
Dawn.
And I'll second that.
Okay, so Dawn, would you like to take the chair's position, please?
Well, he might all vote again.
Oh yeah, sorry. All in favour? Thank you.
Right, welcome members to full council of the 23rd of September of Crewe Town Council. So to receive apologies for absence and note non-attendance.
Okay, so apologies are from councillors Houston, Coyley, Pratt, Mackay, Councillor Graham, Councillor Fazy, Councillor Chapman. I assume Councillor Hogben as well, Steve? Councillor Nina Hogben?
She's not sending apologies for absence yet.
Okay.
She'll probably be late.
Okay, that's fine then. Okay, and Councillor Messent as well. Thank you.
Okay, to note any declarations on members' interest as they relate to the agenda. Do we have anybody declaring any interest? That's a no, thank you. Item 3, to confirm and sign the minutes of the Crewe Town Council held on the 17th of July 2025.
I'll get on to read that. Yeah, that's fine.
So,
they are upstairs.
Is there any amendments to be raised?
No.
So we'll accept those as a true record of the meeting of the 17th of July.
Happy to propose. Happy to second.
Thank you.
All those in favour?
Approved.
That's any against? Any absence?
Thank
you. Item 4, public participation. Do we have any members of the public? No one present. Do we have any questions?
We do have a question that was submitted today from a Mr. David Hughes. Following recent English nationalist protests outside of hotels, St George's flags being tied to lampposts, red crosses painted in the town centre and anecdotal reports of people being racially abused, has the council leader any plans to issue a statement condemning racism and reaffirming our town's history?
Councillor Rhodes.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure whether Mr. Hughes means the political leader or the mayor, because the mayor is technically the ceremonial leader of the council. So, in the mayor's absence, I will answer. I'm sorry that Mr. Hughes is not here to put his question in person, but I'm sure he's got a very good reason for not being here. Crewe Town Council is effectively a parish council. Our concerns are with the residents of Crewe, not with national campaigns. As a group, we are, and as a council, we are apolitical. We are looking to do things for the benefit of our residents, and as such, I will not be planning, and I don't think the mayor will be planning, to issue a statement on a national issue. Thank you.
Thank you. No
Thank you, Councillor Rhodes.
National issue. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. Right then, members, we'll move to item 5, which is to receive updates from the committee chairs in relation to the meetings held since the Crewe Town Council meeting on the 17th of July. I'd like to call upon the Chair of Finance and Governance, Councillor Rhodes, to approve the review documents.
I'd like to propose that we accept reviewed documents which we discussed at F&G, which are the model standing orders, which are according to the model of 2025, the banners policy, press and media policy, internet policy, email and social media policy, and treasury management policy. These were discussed at F&G, and with no minor amendment were agreed.
Thank you.
So I'm happy to propose them.
Yeah. And who's the second? Councillor Saint Francis. All those in favour? That's unanimous. Thank you, members. Next committee is the Public Services Committee. Councillor Stuart McKay is not here, so the Vice Chair, Councillor Hogben.
I'll just say there's no items for consideration, but obviously just the members will note them.
Thank you. So the minutes were circulated. So item 3, events and culture. Again, no items for consideration. Councillor Edwards, do you have anything you want to say?
No, nothing at this time. Minutes have been circulated.
Thank you. Planning and Environment Committee, Councillor John Rose, to approve the SIL allocation policy. Would you like to propose?
Yeah, we reviewed at the meeting on the 15th of September. And, I'd like to seek your approval for this policy.
Do I have a seconder? Councillor Murray. All those in favour? That's unanimous, members. Thank you. Oh, sorry.
It's better abstain being chair of the Southern Planning.
And
Okay.
then it's chair of
Southern Planning and Cheshire East.
Southern Planning
On Cheshire East Council.
CEC. Okay.
So,
Thank
item 5 is the Community Committee. Myself, there is no items for consideration. So we'll move on to item 6, the Personnel Committee. Of the minutes of the 17th of July and the 9th of September. This is in item 12, which will go into closed session on. So, moving on then to item 6.
Sorry, I don't to that.
Yes, go ahead.
So on item C, public services, just a technical thing. On minutes, section 4, it says Victoria School has been an example of one school has been considered. It's not been actively considered by Cheshire as I wanted it to be considered.
Yeah.
Tense. Yeah.
Yes.
So, do you want me to propose them?
Yeah, propose it and I'll update
Yeah.
Lindsay
So,
on that.
who would second that change in the minutes?
Well, I wasn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Councillor Mortimer.
Yeah.
All those in favour?
Ben, I'll just get that statement from you at the end, if that's
Yeah.
okay. Thank you.
Okay, that's carried. Thank you. Item 6, to note any updates from members having attended external meetings. Councillor Rose, Town Board.
Yeah, we are in the Town Board is in a position now where a lot of the projects are coming to fruition. We've had the boxing club, which has been opened. Youth Zone, the Dome is well on its way. The steels are completed. We have had some questions around the flag lane baths, and that has been in the need. But currently there is no Town Board project to do with the flag lane baths. That's back in the hands of Cheshire East. And we've got the work on the Cumberland Sports Ground is beginning to take place. So we have to spend the money by March 2027.
Yeah.
So we are looking really to make sure they're completed, and the warm and healthy homes, we hopefully have come to conclusions about that, and the work on that can start. So yes, things are beginning to complete.
Councillor Yates, do you have anything to add?
The two remaining pocket parks that have still got to start, which is Westminster Street and Valley Brook. The consultation is finished on that now, so I think the designs will be made available to the public fairly soon. And I think the only other outstanding one now is awaiting planning for the Mugger at Jubilee Gardens. And as soon as that's all being well sorted, then that work will commence immediately.
Thank you. Any questions? Councillor Mortimer.
Yeah, I was just following on with what Joe said about the flag lane bus. Because that was under the project they were going to do something that then ran out of money. Is that right? That's what happened, wasn't it?
I think Sam will correct me if I'm wrong, but
yeah, what
the
funding for
the flag lane baths, in fact, all the SANS funding was only partial funding, and the people involved with the project had to raise funding.
Right.
The costs on the baths started out quite reasonably, but with building inflation, they became really great, and Always Ahead could not raise sufficient funding to continue with the project. And with what we've heard in the press, I don't think people probably realise how deteriorated the condition of the baths is and the kind of eye-watering figures it would take to renovate it in its current state. It's laying empty for a good number of years with no maintenance whatsoever and very limited security.
Yeah, that was really good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
can
that's
I
really
just say that Cheshire East Council has issued a statement which is on their website regarding the future use of Flag Lane baths and given some context and background to that. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how real this is. True. That there's plans to knock it down and make it a school, but I don't know how. Is that real?
Those details are on the website.
Oh, that's what's on the website.
Yeah.
It is designated for a special
For a
school.
school.
I don't think the plan is to knock it all down. I think they'll keep the facade.
Right.
But we're waiting on they're waiting on the DFE to confirm that they will pay for that because schools are built by the DFE. They're not built by local authorities.
No, and the other question was with that particular school, as I understand it, there's the amount of pupils that I'm just wondering about the cost compared to the gain. I don't know. Which is
I think that would be a
Can
question
I-
you need to
yeah,
ask Cheshire
Cheshire East, yeah.
Can I just come
Councillor
back?
Rowe, then Councillor Hogben.
The children who will be educated there potentially have very costly placements.
Do they?
Yeah.
I mean, there are
It will be potentially a saving to Cheshire East
Cheshire
Council,
East, right.
Council
I mean,
because of at the moment how we have to fund the placement for those
Placement for them.
Yes.
Yeah, it's just questions I've been asked, and I didn't have that.
no,
Yeah,
that's fine.
I would check
I'd be
out
happy
that
to-
Yeah, I didn't have
that
that
press
information.
release that's gone on
Yeah.
out today about
I've
it.
been asked about it.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, that's
Councillor Hogben.
Yeah.
Just to add that I understand on good authority that the Member of Parliament has actually been in contact with the relevant parliamentary undersecretary in the Education Department. Whether it was the last one or the present one remains to be seen. But he has made those approaches to promote the project. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Yates.
Yeah, just some of the detail really, Tony, about the baths. This town council actually paid for the first feasibility study
Right.
for the Always Ahead charity, something like 8 years ago,
Right.
something like that. And the scale of the job, as it was then, we were talking about the town board putting up something like 2 million, and the Always Ahead charity finding roughly the same.
Right.
By the time Always Ahead pulled out, the cost of doing even a partial restoration was over 12 million pounds.
Wow, 12 million.
12 million. And the problem was, of course, every time a little bit more detail was got into. So, for example, there was a survey done of the concrete,
Surrounding it, yeah.
and I wish they hadn't.
Yeah, I can imagine they're actually
The huge amount of damage
Mm.
that have been created in the building as a result of the removal of a lot of the rainwater goods, the damage that have been done inside the building by vandals and so on. It really meant in the end that the Always Ahead charity was way outside
Right.
what they could do. Anybody else taking on that site will have to deal, or would have to deal, with the consequences of the building being in the condition it is.
Right.
Which of course is the reason why Guinness and other housing associations have never got involved on that site.
Right.
Because of the problems with it. The opportunity arose a year ago now, when Always Ahead were pulling out for the Department of Education to take it on. And actually the deal that was struck at the time meant that the money that the town board saved by not proceeding with Flag Lane baths meant that money could then be reallocated back into the other projects and restoring a lot of the full content of the other projects that have been hit by inflation.
So
and that
that's
was
a
the
better
deal.
use of the money. I understand. Yeah, that makes more sense. Yeah. Thank you.
Right, thank you, Councillor Yates. Councillor Y. and then we'll close this matter.
Yeah, it's in my ward, and I also receive planning representations. And yes, of course, we would like it, for instance, but it's at the moment we've got to wait for DFE, and I fully appreciate people's desire to have it back as a sports centre.
that's what I find.
But we've got a sports centre 10 minutes walk down the road, and there are other facilities around there as well. I just don't think it's where
Well,
we
no,
where
it's
we get
just
money
like,
from.
yeah,
rather than
yeah,
DFE.
yeah.
It's a shame. That's what
It is,
I'm
yeah.
saying.
Thank you, members.
Thank you.
Right, if we move on then to item 7, to consider and approve payments to date between the 1st of May 2025 to the 31st of July to the value of £241,600.56, as recommended by the Finance and Governance Committee. Can I have a proposer and seconder, please? Proposed by Dennis, seconded by Councillor John Rhodes. All those in favour? Thank you, members. It's unanimous. Item 8, to note the spend to date to the 31st of July, the financial material variance report as recommended again by the Finance and Governance Committee. So this is just for noting. Is there any questions? No. Are we happy to move on, members?
Yeah.
Thank you. So, item 9, to note and monitor the draft budget 26-27 progressing via the budget setting process. Again, it's to note. Are there any questions from members? Councillor Hosford.
Well, I think it's right that we to just draw to the attention of all members minute number 11, Finance and Governance Committee, which was obviously considered earlier. I'll just pause there.
Council swim right here. Yes.
Oh, that's a bit. I did advise that it might be.
Councillor Lena Hosford has just entered the meeting. Thank you, Councillor.
Yeah, so continue. I think it's only right to draw to the attention of all members minute 11, Finance and Governance Committee minutes from the 9th of September. And I'll just read it out in case anyone's missed it. Excuse me. It says, resolve that the committees with budgetary responsibilities are advised to revisit proposed significant budgetary increases to minimise the impact on the council's preset requirement. And I'm sure all committees will do that. Everybody's quite capable of looking at the current position. I would like to ask a question in public, and I'm assuming that it's possible for this to be answered in some way. We're in the process of putting together our budget for 26-27, and so of course is the Cheshire East Council. What I'm interested in knowing, if we're going to monitor this, we need to know, I think, what sort of approaches or consultation or discussions may have been held or might be coming up between the Cheshire East Council and town councils, parish councils in general, in particular towards services which may be statutory or may be discretionary, which face the prospect of being cut or closed down altogether. I think this council as one of the more forward-looking town councils, I would say, we would want to know, because we've been pressing this issue for a year or 2 or 3 years, and it's crunch time, as of course the chair will know very well, better than the rest of us, I'm sure. So, as I say, every little helps, and it would be useful for this town council to know in what little way we could help to safeguard services and the like for this town. I know there's an endless list of, if we're going to, if there's going to be growth, it needs to be in those areas which are under threat, I would say. Thank you, Chair, and I hope someone can maybe just comment on that.
I'm going to have to declare an interest because I am chair of the finance subcommittee on Cheshire East Council. So answering your question, I'm answering as the chair of the finance subcommittee chair. I am aware that through the finance subcommittee we have approved a timetable of consultation and engagement with the parish councils and with the residents. This has significantly been brought forward from previous years. We are already started the process. We've had several meetings and the budget process and the plan. So we will not get financial settlement notification from government. We now know that won't happen now till after the budget in the end of November. So the likelihood of us getting our settlement details is likely to be the 19th of December. So Merry Christmas to all those who work in our finance department, because they will be working up the final proposals. Then there is a heavy engagement process in January but headlines are already being drafted up, and those headline conversations are taking place with town and parish councils. So our head of finance, new head of finance, Chris Benham, and principal finance officer will be going out round to the parish councils and having discussions with them. There is even talk that we're going to have a full town and parish councils conference to discuss the budget as well, so they can see how they can make that happen as it's been done in previous years. So yes, we are more than aware that we need to have these conversations early, especially about possibly services which have got to be cut, which then town and parish councils can have the conversation about whether or not they can actually devolve services and take over those services. So it is that those conversations are taking place, and yeah.
Well, thanks very much for that comprehensive answer. Yes, I think I think we're all very conscious of is that in early December, is it, or end of November anyway, in a few weeks' time, we will be deciding our precepts, and we're required to provide the supply that. I'm not quite sure what the deadline is, and that would be something actually useful for this town council to know, because one could argue if the deadline for submitting the precept requirement is at a later date, let's say January next year rather than December, then that gives this town council and others opportunity for consideration. What worries me, I think, anyway, is if we do our precepts in December, for argument's sake, when there might still be a few weeks actually leeway that the borough council can accept, and I think normally does, then we might be premature. I mean, we do need to know, and as you said, Chair, we do, town and parish councils in general need to have know which services may be under consideration. I'm not talking about social services, I'm talking about others. So that they've got a chance to consider them, within the sort of limited resources that town and parish councils have.
Thank you. Be assured that I have weekly meetings with the Section 151 officer, and I will raise that with him on Friday morning.
Thank you.
Moving on then, was there any further questions on the budget? Are we happy to note and move on? Thank you, members. Item 10 is to receive and approve the completion of the annual governance and accountable return, the AGAR as it's commonly known, for 2024-25.
Members will be delighted that we had a squeaky clean audit again, and everything is in order on the AGAR. The only thing that isn't in order is our email address, which I've notified them of. It's the wrong email address, or website address actually. It's a .org.uk. Everything else is correct.
Any questions, members? Are we happy to know?
Yeah.
No, we need to
Oh, sorry, please recommend that. So I recommend that. Thank you. Seconded. Councillor Y. All those in favour? That's unanimous. Thank you, members. So, before moving to item 11, we need a resolution of this committee. It is recommended that Council considers a resolution under Section 1 of the Public Bodies Admission to Meetings Act 1960 to exclude the public and representatives of the press from the meeting during the consideration of item 12 on the grounds that matters contain sensitive information and by the reason of the confidential nature of the business being transacted. Can I have a proposal, please? As seconded, Councillor Edwards. All those in favour? We will now move to closed session. Thank you.
Can I propose a private session and back into public session?
We are.
Have we done that?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. We're now back. So moving on to item 13, which is to note the date of the next meeting of the council, which is the 2nd of December 2025. Is that duly noted then?
Yeah, noted it.
So thank you, members. I will now close the meeting.
Thank you.
Well done.
Well done.